All right, you lot. Today we're talking about aerobic endurance. Sounds a bit posh, doesn't it? Don't worry, it's simple. Imagine you're a little hamster running on a wheel. Aerobic endurance is how long that hamster can keep going before it needs a rest. It's all about how well your body uses oxygen to keep your muscles going strong, even when you're working out for a while. Think of it like this. Your body is a car. Aerobic endurance is like having a big fuel tank and an efficient engine. It means you can run farther, bike longer, and dance all night without getting completely knackered. In simple terms, it's your ability to keep going without getting tired. The better your aerobic endurance, the longer you can exercise without feeling wiped out. Aerobic endurance is the ability of the heart and lungs to deliver oxygen to working muscles during sustained physical activity. Now let's find out why this matters and how to make yours amazing. Okay, so why should you even care about this aerobic endurance thing? Is it just for athletes and marathon runners? Nope. Having good aerobic endurance is important for everyone, no matter your fitness level. First off, it's great for your health. It strengthens your heart and lungs, helps control your weight, and even gives you more energy. Ever noticed how some people get out of breath just walking up a flight of stairs? Yeah, not you, mate. Not with great aerobic endurance. Second, it helps you in everyday life. Ever had to sprint for the bus or carry heavy shopping bags? That's aerobic endurance in action. And let's not forget about sports. Whether you're into football, dancing, or just chasing your mates around the park, good aerobic endurance will make you a star player. Think about marathon running. Aerobic endurance allows marathon runners to maintain a steady pace for hours, ensuring they can cross the finish line strong. In football, a centre midfielder needs to run around for 90 minutes, constantly moving to support both defence and attack. Aerobic endurance helps them stay sharp and effective throughout the game. For a scrum half in rugby, keeping up with the play means sprinting, passing and tackling repeatedly. Aerobic endurance ensures they can perform these high-intensity actions without tiring quickly. And in netball, a centre player must cover the entire court, constantly moving to create opportunities. Aerobic endurance allows them to maintain their performance from start to finish. So it's about being fit and healthy and having the stamina to enjoy life to the fullest. It's about being able to keep up with your mates, smash your workouts and feel fantastic. All right, let's dive into the methods of training to boost your aerobic endurance. First up, we have continuous training. This involves maintaining a steady pace and moderate intensity for at least 30 minutes. It's like going for a long, steady jog without stopping. Marathon runners often use this method. Next, we have fartlek training, which is a Swedish term meaning speed play. This method involves varying your speed and terrain, like running fast for a bit, then slowing down, and maybe even tackling some hills. It's popular in interval sports like football and netball. It's a fun way to keep your workouts interesting. Then there's interval training. This involves alternating between periods of work and rest. Boxers often use this method. For aerobic endurance, you'll want to decrease the length of rest periods and lower the intensity compared to speed training. Finally, we have circuit training. This method uses a series of stations or exercises completed one after the other with minimal rest in between. It's a great way to develop aerobic endurance while keeping things dynamic and engaging. So whether you prefer a steady run, mixing up your speeds, or tackling a variety of exercises, there's a training method for you. Now, how do you know if your aerobic endurance is up to scratch? Well, there are a few ways to test it. Don't worry, these aren't scary exams. They're just ways to see how your awesome body is doing. We'll look at some fun ones. The multi-stage fitness test, the 12-minute Cooper run, the yo-yo test, no, not the toy, and the Harvard step test. Each test has its own quirks and challenges. Some involve running, some involve stepping, and some might even make you feel like you're back in PE class. But they all have one thing in common. They push your aerobic system to its limits and give you a good idea of how much stamina you've got. So get ready to sweat, push your limits, and find out just how long that hamster on a wheel can keep going. The multi-stage fitness test involves running back and forth between 2 points, with the time between beeps getting shorter. To calculate your score, count the number of shuttles completed before you miss a beep. Normative scores vary by age and gender, but generally completing 9 levels is considered average for teenagers. The 12-minute Cooper run is all about covering as much distance as you can in 12 minutes. Measure the distance you run and compare it to normative tables. For example, running 2.4 kilometers in 12 minutes is considered good for young adults. The yo-yo test is similar to the multi-stage fitness test, but includes short recovery periods. Your score is the total distance covered before you can't keep up with the beeps. Normative scores again depend on age and gender, but covering 1,600 meters is a solid performance. And the Harvard Step Test measures how quickly your heart rate recovers after stepping up and down on a platform for 5 minutes. To calculate your score, take your pulse 1, 2, and 3 minutes after finishing. Add these three numbers together and use a formula to get your fitness index. A score above 90 is excellent.